There you go. Okay, so a lot of people know what this live is tonight. You guys know who the real OG is, obviously. All right, there's 100
Good
people in here.
evening.
I left the gifts on tonight. Do not gift me. Send, if you guys want a gift, send it to the real OG. She actually has a real rescue, and they can use the funds to help the real animals. And she is not grifting anybody. So please do that.
Hi, everyone.
Um, okay. Hey, Crab, I set you up as a moderator. As people start coming in, we could we could start talking about this guy. I just
There's
wanna I want
Dalladita
oh
comments too.
hold on. There goes SJ. Add moderator. Okay. Hold on. Where's Dollar Diva? There she is right there. Okay. Um just give me a few seconds, guys. I should have done this before, but um BS, can you comment so I can make you a moderator as well? The only way I know how
All
to
my
do it, guys.
moderators on here. Hi,
Do you have
Tracy.
anybody
Hi,
you want to
Kara.
put as a moderator for the live?
Tracy and Carol are in here. They're my mods. Are super good.
All right.
You just gotta tell them what your rules are. If
My
you
rules
want to
is
mute before they,
my rules are any derogatory comments, they get straight up blocked. I don't mute. You just don't get to sit in here. You're gonna have to come back on another live. I mean on another account. What's up,
there's
Willie
Tracy.
Will? Where's Tracy at?
Tracy. Yes, she says hi. I'm Tracy.
I don't see her. Hold on. Hold on.
And Joy's here too.
I'm Tracy. Here you go.
Actually,
Right there. I got her.
I don't know if Joy wants a box with us. She's my best friend. She's also a nonprofit rescue, and we were
You're
in the
talking
live
about
with Scammy. That was Joy. We were in the live with Scammy
the
on
one
this
that says
guy.
what's going on?
Yeah, it says Joy Healing Heart Rehab.
Okay, I see her. Um, there you go. Uh,
Y'all, God's just working through his technical difficulties for a moment.
yeah.
Give him a chance. It's been a while for him, but he's coming back. Let's be kind to him and give him some grace this evening. He's coming back strong.
Will,
Hey, BS.
Will,
I'm
I'm gonna
always
make
in
you.
your live watching. I'm
I know you
always.
are. I see you.
Will, you know you
I
get
see you.
moderator status.
I come in all the time.
Okay, I think we got some for right now. Who's requesting? Scammy Claus and Rosa. Hold on.
Good evening, Scammy Claus. I hope you're doing well.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening.
Good
Hi,
evening,
Scammy.
Dozer.
All right, guys, we're gonna
Hello.
get rolling. We're gonna get rolling along here.
God, can you just walk me through, Corey, on how to put the thing up?
Yeah, click on your box that you're in right now,
Okay, okay, my box. Yep,
and then turn on the camera, like how it has a line through it. Turn that on.
yep,
Then at the bottom, there's a bunch of things that pop up as effects.
yep.
And then the green screen is the one you want to pick. And then you got to hit save at the bottom. After you hit the green screen, you pick the picture that you want to put in there.
Okay, I think I got it.
Um, so guys in the chat, moderators, if you see anybody's legal name, um, mute that account, block that account. I don't want nobody's legal name in here. I don't care if it looks like a legal name to you and somebody's writing it in the chat. Get rid of them.
Are you
So
going to turn off the comments during this
yeah,
part?
when Scanny, you want me to shut the comments off now?
That that would be great. Thanks.
Okay, hold on. Let me see.
One of your moderators can do that for you. God, you just have to tell them to do it.
Yeah, just somebody shut the comments off for me, please. All right, thank you. All right, cool. All right,
Oops, you had cheese. There you go.
so 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 tonight I have Matilda's here. Matilda, I'll let you up in a minute. Um, so everybody knows you see Rosa's box. That is saving every dog I can. Puppy
Can the
breath.
moderators expand that box so that's the bigger one out of all of them so you can see who we're talking about all the time?
Yes,
Sorry, I'm going
please.
to shut up now.
So he claims he runs a charity out of Dexter, Missouri, saving animals, that stray animals from the street, and people. He claims people gives them stray dogs. Um, he a very vile person, likes to threaten people. Um, says that he has a 501(c) and he has a kennel license. The kennel license part, I definitely he probably has one. I believe that. That's a plausible. But as far as the 501(c), everybody knows that is public information. If you put that on a website, they can read your charity paperwork, and he refuses it to show. I'm gonna let the real OG talk about it because I came across a live and she was questioning him, and all her questions to him were legitimate questions. And he got to a point where he just muted and booted her out the box and blocked her. So the floor is yours, ma'am. You're on mute. You're on mute.
Actually, Scammy is the one that has all the information. I was called into her live, was told about this guy that they didn't know at the time. They thought maybe was collecting donations that wasn't legal. Um, I got into the live and I kind of, gave it both sides. Well, because I started street rescue before I opened my 501(c), and so did Joy. We would rescue off the street. This was before TikTok. And we would ask for donations, but we would ask for people to pay the vet. So they would, send donations into the vet because we weren't a nonprofit then. So I did jump in his box that night. I actually left Scammy's live and went into his live. He let me in the box. I was shocked. I came across. I wanted to be polite because I didn't want him to kick me out. I just asked him, are you a 501(c)? And he said yes. He just reinstated everything. He said that he was affiliated with No Dog Left Behind. And I know that rescue, and they mainly deal with the dog meat trade in China. Okay. They've been around for a long time. And he said, yeah, but it's kind of like a franchise. There's different groups throughout the United States. And I said, kind of like Subway. I mean, we have 3 Subways and they're all owned by different owners, but they're Subway. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He was saying, yeah. And the thing that was confusing me is he kept saying, the state helped him with his license. Well, first off, a 501(c) nonprofit isn't a license. It's a nonprofit rescue that's given by, Secretary of State, IRS, all that other stuff. But he kept saying license, so I was confused because there are two different things. You have your nonprofit, which is, raises money for dogs, and then you have your kennel license that is given to you by the city. No state gives you a license, not unless you're a doggy daycare, a grooming, something like that. Um, so I was confused. Because he said that no, the state helped me with my license. And that's when I said, okay, so you have your nonprofit and you have your license, like a kennel license. And he said, yes, the state helped me get that. And I said, the state doesn't give you that. The city does. The city gives you your kennel license. Now, your kennel license is for your breeders. It could be for like a dog resort thing, like a daycare overnight babysitting and that stuff. You can get your kennel license through there, but that's something totally different. They're two totally separate things. And he couldn't really like answer me straight. I mean, you were watching it. What happened was I asked, how do you do your adoptions? I mean, how do you do your adoptions? Are your dogs neutered and spayed, vaccinated and all that before they get adopted? And he said no. Right there threw a really, really big red flag to me. And then you could tell I got nervous and he muted me and blocked me. But the weird thing is, it didn't drop me out of the box. I was actually still in his live. Like, I'm like, hello. And then he went on to just talk utter shit, which I recorded it because I went on my other device. I will tell you where we're at right now. So he knows my address. He knows my address, but he's getting confused with Scammy and me. I live in Texas. That's the address he has. So, like I said earlier, come on, come on. I'm going to go buy a little Santa Claus suit. So I can come out here in my Santa Claus suit. And at least I could portray to be Scammy Claus, right? But yes, he does have my address, which I don't care. He doesn't scare me. But if I'm going to mute, because Scammy has a lot more information, and I got to be honest, I have turned some stuff over. I have been threatened. I just turned it in. I'm not, he's not here in Texas, so it's a lot of work you got to go through. But I let our chief know, like, this guy is out there. I mean, out there. The guy had been up, and I was asked, you can ask Gammy, the guy had been up for over 72 hours. And what he was doing is he would go live, end his live, make like 2 posts, come live again for about 30 minutes in the garage. It's like 2:30 in the morning. All the lights are on. And these poor dogs are trying to sleep on this mattress on the floor in like some garage or something. And he was keeping them awake. They're trying to sleep. And then he would get off live, go make 2 more videos. And he kept repeating this like every 30 minutes. And so I was watching it. And he actually was live over 72 hours. Over 72 hours. And about at that time is when he really started talking weird. That's when all the threats were coming. It was bad. It was bad. I'm gonna let Scammy go because I'm gonna let Scammy come in now because she knows a lot more.
Um, before
Um,
before Scammy comes up, I want to ask you a couple questions and help clarify a couple things for the people. So your nonprofit organization, you do not make a living off of it, do you?
no,
Like,
I work. I'm at bail bondsman.
so you actually have a legitimate job where you pay your bills and you sustain your
Yes,
lifestyle. Your
yes.
501c has nothing to do with your personal bills. You do not take
No,
money out of that to pay yourself. Okay. The reason why
we
I
don't
asked
get paid.
you that question was because in one breath he says that he is a nonprofit organization with a 501c, but then in the next breath, right afterwards, he says, I make a living doing this. So, from my understanding of my research, you do not make a living off of a nonprofit organization. Anything that
Matter
comes
of
into the
fact, matter of
right,
fact, I'm going to go back. Now, I contribute a lot of my paychecks to the nonprofit because it's guys like him that go out there and make us real legitimate, filed with the state. I can pull dogs across the United States. It makes us look bad. And so I got to be honest, donations are really low. Joy's right here. Our nonprofit, we are foster based only. We don't have a facility. Joy's different. Joy has a facility. That's what the difference is. She doesn't get a paycheck either. I work a full-time job, so does Joy.
So
Um,
let me ask you another question. So if
mhm.
somebody was to ask you to show your 501(c) paperwork, do you have any qualms in showing that?
Yeah,
You would show it for the people and so they can see that it's legit?
yeah,
So that's a big red flag when somebody doesn't want to show their paperwork. Am I correct?
yeah. It's on my page. It's on my rescue page.
See, and that's what
My
that's what you
501.
was that's what you was trying to explain to him for him to put it up on his page before
Correct.
he wooded you out of the box.
Correct. I have two pages. I have my rescue page, and this is my personal one, which you'll see I have no information. Like I don't have no cash. The Joy's. If let me go through my while Scammy's talking, let me go through my photo, pull up mine.
Okay.
Um, but on my rescue page, I do have my EIN. I have the website that you can go to. Um, when you know that letter right there is what you have to show for your nonprofit. Um, shows when you started, when you were awarded the nonprofit, and all that stuff. See,
Could I ask a question
nobody
about
should have a
getting a
nobody
kennel
should have a.
license? Sorry, go ahead.
No, I don't. We're foster based.
Well, but if you are, like, I know, you said that Joy has an actual kennel. Um, they come and look at that, don't they? Like a garage with a bunch of food on the ground and some mattresses thrown out would not pass the test of getting a kennel license, surely, right?
Mhm. No. And you know, when I was coming into this, my thing to him was, and Scammy knows this, I said, you know, I started out this way, but I didn't beg on TikTok. I made people pay the vet, or I put up a wish list. I've been doing this 28 years, and let me tell you what, rescues do not make money. We are in debt, continually in debt. And so I work, and I actually take one of my paychecks and put it in. Yeah, I can write it off at the end of the year. We have 4 board members. I'm the president. And then we have a treasurer, secretary, and a vice president. So, I mean, it's a really ran board. I'm the same with Joy. There's Joy's facility. Why am I moving to the side? Sorry. I don't know why. Um, that's, and what I told Scammy, I said, you know, if this guy would come clean, like I would be the first to like help him if he is actually rescuing these dogs and if he is getting them altered, meaning spayed neutered. I knew from the jump he was a backyard breeder. I knew from the jump he was a backyard breeder. And my opinion is those little black puppies that he has, I think are that he has a mom and dad. I think he bred those dogs and then he's gonna turn around and sell them. Just like the new dogs he got. Okay? Somebody gave them to him. That's a flipper. He's a dog flipper. So he gets these free dogs with puppies, and then he actually flips them for money. And it's a real big market right now, and I'm going to tell you why. A lot of the states are going through the pit bull bans. Pit bull, Rottweiler, all those breeds. They're not allowing them in their apartments because insurance won't cover it. Okay. But it's a huge thing, especially right now, because all these people got puppies for Christmas. Well, guess what? What, 2, 3 months later, that puppy's chewed all the shoes, all the doors. So now they're rehoming the dog for free. And it's huge right now for on Marketplace, I mean, any of your free dog stuff. I mean, it's huge right now for people to flip dogs for profit.
Scammy Claus, you have the floor if you want to talk now.
Thank you, God. Hello to everybody in the boxes. Most of you I know. Nice to see you guys again. First, one of the things, God, that I want to say to you that you brought up into my life today. This live is a good example that even though you have words with people in the past, you and I have gone at it in the past. Awareness needs to overcome that, especially when you are working together, to take down somebody like this. And I appreciate you having this live tonight and inviting me in. And, I hope that we can work together with this and other people like him to shut them down because, awareness needs to work together. And I'm hoping tonight that this shows that we all can. So I appreciate that from you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming
Um,
up. For me, I left the app for a couple months. I came back, and when I came back, I said everybody gets a clean slate with me. I don't care what words we had in the past, whether I was right or wrong. Everybody's going to start from the beginning. Awareness is should not be held one awareness creator against another. It should be a unified group effort to. All our goal is to rid these people off this app, and that's what we should all be focused on, no matter what. I tell everybody today, follow every awareness creator you can think of or come across, follow them.
yep. Yep. I agree. I agree. There's a lot to unpack with this guy. Never did I imagine that, I would be where I was today with him. Daniel McNabb, or whatever his name is, because I do not think that is his real name. I have done a lot of research on him, trying to find him, and this man does not exist under his name. He even went so far today in a post he made of giving his middle name, his middle initial, and I, looked into that also, and anybody with his name does not exist. And I did an Intellius search, which will give you it'll give you a lot of information, especially people's names. It may give inaccurate information below that, but finding a name of somebody and verifying their age, their date of birth, Intellius is 99.9% accurate with that. He does not exist under that name. I can tell you that he says that he was a Marine. I could tell you today that Texas Tiff, who is a friend of mine on here, who is former military, former police, went to her local Army or Navy base today and inquired about pulling his records. And she couldn't find anybody with the name Daniel McNabb that was in the Marines. So there is absolutely 100% questions as to who this person is. He says he travels around the country a lot rescuing dogs. I think he travels a lot around the country because as soon as the police start looking into him, as soon as people start questioning what he's doing and the heat gets too hot, he leaves the state. I have spoken to people. I had a woman in a box a couple nights ago that knew him and knew his girlfriend Heidi when they were living in Michigan, and this was quite a while ago. They were in Michigan for a little while, and then in the middle of the night, they just got up and left quickly, left all of their belongings behind, and disappeared because something was up in Michigan. He claims, as he said, that he is a rescue organization. He does not have a kennel license. He does not have a 501c3. He is not allowed in the state of Missouri to have more than 7 dogs, adult dogs. At the time where he quote unquote left Missouri, which I don't think he has, I think he will be back there on and off. He had at least 29 animals, most of them puppies, but he did have some adult dogs. He has been in Alabama, Texas, Missouri, Oregon, Michigan. Some question about him being in Florida, because I know Heidi was there for a while. They have pulled this grift in multiple locations. There's so much. He claims that he is supported by many major manufacturers of dog food, that he gets pallets of food delivered to him every couple months.
The Costco thing that he just mentioned.
Yes, that is untrue from what I can see, because based on what I have read on Facebook and that I have gotten screenshots of, he is known to sit outside of Walmart in Dexter and beg people for dog food. And when he gets the dog food, he brings it into his RV that's parked in the parking lot, and he goes back to beg for more dog food. It's it's a grift that he has done before. One of the questionable things that I was always wondering about was that he always had high-end dogs. It was never like your typical,
Mixed breed.
yeah, it's never a mixed breed. It's always huskies. He has, I forgot what type of a hound he had. He had 4 of them. He's shown Akitas. He's shown a number of dogs that are not normally dogs that would just be running around on the streets somewhere.
Can you hold up? Can you hold on for 1 second, guys?
Sure.
I see the request for the boxes. Um, what, let us finish this informative part of the live, and then I'll let people up in the boxes so you can give your opinion and your thoughts. And if you know this guy, you could talk about what you know.
Scammy, can I ask a question real quick? Is
Sure.
that Heidi Broski? Is that the girlfriend's name?
Yes, and she goes by many, many different names. She has about 5 different Facebook accounts. Most of them have different spellings of her last name. She and he have different multiple IG accounts. She is questionable too in terms of how deep she is into this, based on the fact, like him, with all the different aliases, it's a little bit concerning. So I'll tell you, he was brought to my attention beginning of January because he was in a garage with a lot of dogs running around. I started watching him and I was listening to his lives. And what was a little bit strange to me is that he was saying that he was a rescue organization. He was saying that his rescue organization was No Dog Left Behind. And doing some research on that, that is a rescue organization that is very well known. They're based in the state of New York. They deal with, dogs within, their communities, but also they save dogs from China. And nowhere on the site, and the organization is run by a gentleman named Jeff Barry. Nowhere on the site was he mentioned at all. There was nothing there. And, him saying that it's like a franchise, that's not how it works. You can have an organization that is a charitable organization, and there can be kind of offshoots of that, but you're all part of that main organization. And he doesn't list any organization on any of his social media websites. In fact, the thing that was very sketchy is he originally had that as his name on TikTok, and as soon as people started asking him questions about it, he changed it. He's changed his TikTok screen name now 3 or 4 times in less than 3 weeks. He originally said that he used to have a kennel license and he used to have a charitable tax number. Then he said his tax number had lapsed because he didn't want any town or city or organization telling him how many dogs he can have and how he had to handle those dogs, which was another red flag, because what legitimate rescue organization doesn't want to kind of abide just by normal, restrictions that a city or a state would have on the amount of dogs you can have, and what your responsibility is to those animals. The more I started watching him, it was dawning on me that there were a lot of lies he was making, and I mean, on a daily basis during his lives. Things that were very easy to prove were untruthful. He was asking people to pay, to send him money for items, and he was using his girlfriend's Cash App. He would have pictures of, oh, Ruby. He would have pictures of puppies that he said that he had rescued. And then like the next day they wouldn't be around. And I mean, it would like happen overnight. I, I became, very weary about what he was doing. I was concerned about the dogs themselves, the conditions they were in. The dogs were sleeping on filthy linens, filthy furniture, cushions. I mean, like really, really disgusting. The garage was covered with feces, covered with urine on the floor. Dogs were running through it. The food was just poured out on the floor. So when they were eating, there were dogs stepping in it and eating at the same time. It just is unlike any rescue organization that I had ever seen in my life. That's when I asked OG to come in and kind of take a look and get her. Actually, I'm going to rephrase that. Somebody reached out to OG. I think it was Cricket, and said, "Can you come into the live?" And OG came in, and she started watching him, and we were watching him, and I was asking her for red flags, and she started pointing out quite a few things. As pressure started growing on him, he started making some pretty. He started telling some pretty fantastic stories. One story was somebody threw a brick through the tenant's or the owner's house that had a warning message on it. The brick kept changing from a brick to a rock to a brick to a rock. He said that his landlord's car window was bashed out by haters of his that wanted him to stop doing what he was doing. He said somebody broke into the garage one night and tore all the food bags open, sliced through his harnesses and his leashes. And, the thing that you got to understand, this guy is up most of the night. Personally, I think there is some type of a substance going on. That's my opinion only. I don't have any proof of that. But you know, being on lives most of the night and going off for 20 minutes and then coming back on again for an hour, when he's in the garage all the time and he says he sleeps in there. You know, this stuff happening was really questionable. And it was very ironic that after these events would happen, all of a sudden he'd post his PayPal up and he would say, you know, I can't, if you want me to keep saving these animals, I need your help. I can't do this by myself. You know, I need money for leashes and for harnesses and dog beds. And, you know, he would really lay it on thick and he would get people in there that would send him money. You know, and all the while believing the stories he was saying. But I knew because I reached out to the dog warden in Dexter via the Facebook page. And I reached out to her that way because he was saying that there was a lot of people calling the non-emergency line in Dexter. And I didn't know if he was telling the truth or not. But if he was, I didn't want to be one of those people calling up, you know, and reporting at that time. I wanted to reach out to her, and I figured if she reached back out to me, then, you know, we could have a conversation and I can give her any information she needs on this guy that I see. So sure enough, the dog warden, who is also a police officer in Dexter, reached out to me. And I started sending her some of his videos, some of the lies he was saying, and said that was absolutely untrue. Was he said a number of nights ago, and the number changed quite a bit. It was like 150 dogs were round up and they were pew-pewed by people with rifles because you know, they were strays and they were doing target practice. And, you know, the police know about this but don't do anything. That was confirmed, obviously, to be a lie regarding, you know, his story. The stories about people breaking into his garage, false. Throwing rocks through windows never happened. Last night, he accused people of throwing rocks at his dogs that were outside. And he claimed that two men had been arrested. That never happened. There were not people arrested last night for anything in Dexter that had to do with him. You
Yeah,
know,
and these are the people that he said that confirmed that you paid them $500 a piece to
right.
go out there and hurt his animals.
Yeah, he came up with a story today that I hired these people to do it. Now, it's funny because I know he's been watching me and he has changed his stories in the past after watching my lives when I've called him out on his lies. And today, when he brought up that story, it was very interesting because I was having a conversation about the gentleman, Sean Gummy Bear. He used to be known as Gummy Bear, and he's under the name now No Games. And I was talking yesterday about how somebody brought up a story regarding him saying that somebody paid a Virginia person $500 to talk him into moving down there. And if he moved down there, the person would pay another $500. So it was just ironic that he came up with those amounts after I had just talked about it last night. So he uses a lot of what I say and he tries to work it into stories that he can tell. The story that OG has up on right now is absolutely correct. Former canine handler in Dexter for starving a former canine, a canine dog for the police department. And he had another one with him that he was neglecting. And the neglected dog was taken. The other one obviously had passed. And this guy obviously was charged. He was fired and all that stuff. He is using that story as a way of making the Dexter Police Department seem like they are all like this person. And we know that everybody is not like someone just because you're associated with them. So indeed, that story is true, but the department did take action against this person. So that story is an old story. Um, so as pressure started coming down on him, and as I started sending more and more information to the officer in Dexter, um, she had been in contact with me. She had gone over there to do a wellness check on the dogs.
Is that the video that he says that they're behind him and they're
Yes,
supporting him? Okay,
yes,
I figured that.
yes. He has made the allegation that the police support him 100%, that they work hand in hand with him, and any dogs that they get in that they cannot house in their facilities, they ask him to foster them or to hold on to them. Um, the officer I'm in touch with actually posted on her website that they are aware of this guy. They are in no way associated with him in terms of rescuing animals. They know that he has been in town and begging at Walmart for dog food and for supplies, and no, he is not associated with them. She told me under no circumstances do they agree with what he's doing. He used a video of her coming to his house that he's staying in, and saying that she was okay with everything. And he used that and saying, well, you could see she was here and she said everything looked good. And, they're supporting me on this endeavor that I'm doing. What he didn't tell you was that he did not show her the puppies and the dogs that he had in the garage and in his other outbuilding. What he showed her were his personal dogs, his 7 dogs, that are all healthy and all being well taken care of because they're his personal dogs. She told me flat out that she had not seen any other dogs. She had only seen his 7. And I told her, well, did you go into the garage and did you go into the other building on the premises? Because there's a large barn and that's where he keeps a lot of the animals. And she said, no, she did not. So at this point, I started getting frustrated because there were so many red flags that were coming out. And I gave her a picture of the overhead view of the property. I showed him where the large barn was, where he was holding on to the puppies and all of this stuff. And to me, it was coming across that there was nothing that she could do about it. And it was frustrating because they could go there on the premise alone that he had more dogs than he should in the town. And I to this day, I don't know why they just didn't go over there and do the wellness check the premises completely, and find all those other dogs he had. Not just his 7, which everybody knows about because, those dogs are always in the house. But they did not go ahead and check further on the premises. So getting to last night, I had been streaming him. I had been calling him out on all of his lies. He had made a number of videos saying that he was going to be leaving Dexter because there was too much hate here. And he brought up all the times he was supposedly attacked and harassed and threatened. And he said that he was going to be loading all the dogs up and he was going to be moving to another state. And he never mentioned it, even though he forgot many nights ago he did mention where he was going. So last night I was on a live and I was discussing his situation and talking about how, I was still waiting to hear back from the police in Dexter. And he came into my live. And, I thought about, he requested a box and I thought about not letting him up. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to let him up. Let me see what he has to say. Because as you know, God, with these people, the more they talk, the more they're going to show their cards. The
Yeah,
more that
they incriminate themselves from one sentence to the next.
exactly. So I let him up, and the first thing he did was he apologized to me because he made an allegation a couple nights ago that I had been sending him um, um, uh, naked pictures of me, vile pictures. Ruby, bring it over here. Vile pictures threatening him, all of this stuff. And, obviously, people that know me know that I don't do anything like that. So, I put out a video with a definition of what slander is, and he obviously saw that because soon after he saw that, he went on and he apologized on his live for it. So he came in last night and he apologized for that. And I said, yeah, I know you did that. Thank you. I appreciate that, blah, blah. So he started talking about his usual thing again. Hi, my name's Daniel and I rescue animals. I mean, he says that about 15 times every live, which is weird. But I started asking him questions, pinpointed questions. Why do you move so often? Why are you asking for dog food when you're supported by so many manufacturers? All of this stuff. And he started getting a little spicy. And as the conversation went on and he started realizing that, I was in there, obviously, Matilda, who I adore, Matilda's been getting the brunt of his anger too. Matilda's been blamed for threatening him, sending him threats, calling him all the time, all of this stuff, which is not true. So Matilda came into a box and was talking to him, and as he was winding up the first time he was in a box, he threatened me and said that he was going to find me and he was going to do something to my throat with a knife and he was going to watch me pass away. But he said it in obviously a much more disgusting fashion. So, I said, okay, thank you. Thank you for letting me know that. I appreciate it. And I stayed very calm because I generally don't get, jacked up over this stuff at all. So when he got out, people were saying, do you have a recording? Obviously I do. So as we were talking about it, he came back in again. And I saw that he requested a box. And I said, well, the worst thing he can do is incriminate himself more. So I let him back up. And he started talking more crazy talk, saying that he will, he will extinguish the life of anybody that gets in his way of rescuing dogs. He doesn't care if it's the president. He doesn't care if it's the local government. He doesn't care if it's the police. He doesn't care who it is. And he made another comment about people like you should be extinguished and not be on this earth, and that I'm going to find you and I'm going to take care of you. Just the typical threats.
Yes, I have a recording of him today saying that he was going to terminate your being.
Yep. As you know, as everybody knows in here, I live in Texas, and so this afternoon, he said he had he had a flight out from where he was to Texas, and he was coming to visit me today. As you could see, he had no flight because he's home, and so what I did today, and I'm not going to get too much into it for obvious reasons, but last night I did send those recordings over to Dexter Police with the threats. I sent a number of screenshots of him threatening to off people. I sent a number of comments that he made in my live. And, my comment to them, because I was getting really frustrated, was, is this enough proof now that you need to go over there and do something about this? I said, this is not about dogs anymore. This is about somebody who is obviously mentally unstable, who we know is armed, who has multiple, multiple pew-pews, who has many times said that he was, quote unquote, suiting up and putting on his body armor, and that he would protect his dogs at all cost, no matter who was coming for him, and saying that it would be a war. And he made reference to Afghanistan and just all of this crazy stuff. So I said, to the dog warden / officer, something has to be done about this before somebody really gets hurt. And she contacted me and said that all of the information has been forwarded to the chief of police. So we'll see what happens on that end. I can tell you today, I did go to my my local police, who are wonderful. And I played them all the recordings, and they are taking it very seriously. And I have filed a report there. I have given them copies of all of the threats that he's made. I've sent copies of his lives. I've sent screenshots of his picture. I've sent his phone number. I've sent everything that I can. And with that, my hope, and they said that they were going to be contacting the Dexter police. My hope is we will get the name of this person, what his real name is. And at that point, I will be going to the next step also in terms of protecting, myself and my family. And, when I spoke to my officers today, I said, I went in this to bring awareness to what he was doing to dogs. That was the initial reason why I started covering him. But now the dogs are important, but more important to me now is making sure that this guy is taken off the streets for some capacity, because he is unhinged. He is mentally not well. When he states that he doesn't care about human life, he doesn't even care about whether he's alive or not. And, he has access to multiple pew-pews. We've seen stories like this happen in the past. We have seen, incidences where people have had mental health issues. They have threatened things. They have pew-pews. Nobody's done anything. And then what happens in the future? All of a sudden you have a Sandy Hook. All of a sudden you have other school pew-pewings, mall pew-pewings, business pew-pewings. You have all of this stuff happen. And my concern right now is that he's out in public somewhere, somebody recognizes him and starts talking to him about it, and he goes off the deep end and he hurts somebody permanently, if you know what I mean. So the last that I've seen of him, he had posted a video about how he had to put one of his dogs had passed. His other one was gravely injured due to an incident that never happened, with his dogs getting attacked. And he is still using that sympathy, that sympathy. Oh, woe is me. Everybody hates me, even though I'm trying to do good, to get money. And, he's asked for money for gas. He's asked for money for supplies. And the only way to stop this from happening in another city is to shut him down completely. And I know right now on TikTok, his puppybreath36 account is banned for I don't know how long, but he was discontinued today for his threats that he made. I have not seen him on his Saving Every Dog I Can account. I'm not sure if that's banned also, but he tends to post a lot of videos on both of those sites, and they'll stay up for an hour and then he'll take it down. So my suggestion to everybody is, if you see a new post, record it. because he will take it down of, sooner or later, and whatever he said on that will be gone. So, as I said, my suggestion is doing that. So, got the whole thing here. My hope is that we find out who this person is. My department, with their department, work together to get this guy. I'm not sure how charges run in Missouri, but the multiple threats that he's made for unaliving all sorts of people, including myself, including Matilda. I know there's somebody else on here, OG, and there was somebody that sent me screenshots of him threatening them. I'm hoping that those would all be considered separate charges, and I really hope that this guy gets picked up. I do think he needs to be held on a 5150 72-hour hold. I think they need to look into him, mentally, and I think chances are they're going to find that he is not fit right now to be out in public, especially with firearms, because I do believe he is a danger and he is a threat to anybody around him. Not only the dogs, but also human beings. So I don't know if you have any specific questions, Got, because there's just so much information on him that you know that I haven't said, but I don't think it's that important. But if you have any specific questions, I can answer those also. Anybody on here in the boxes.
So I
Um,
want to
I,
interject real quick. He did say if anybody wanted to adopt one of the puppies, you had to go through the Dexter Animal Control, because he
Correct.
was just taking care of him. Well, I did because hey, if I was gonna apply to adopt a dog, so at least it'd be safe. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
They said we don't have any dogs that he has that we're doing adoptions. He's not holding any of our dogs.
Right.
So
Yeah, he said that any adoptions have to go through that office, and he said that you would have to be fingerprinted for it, which is bizarre because that just doesn't happen.
yeah.
Um, the other thing, there was somebody that reached out to him a couple nights ago, interested in adopting one of those four puppies. And originally, he said that the dogs were 250, and then he asked. I mean, this goes to show you how desperate he is right now. She was looking for one puppy, and he said to her, I can rehome a puppy to you for $250, but if you want four of them, I'll give you the other three. And he said, I'll even pay for them to get spay and neutered. So my question to this person who was in the conversation with him was, well, why would you pay 250 if it would cost you more than that to get all these animals spay and neutered? Like, so you're going to give him 250 and then he's going to give you like $400? I mean, that just doesn't make sense. So, obviously that adoption didn't go through because, she was getting some really, really bad vibes. I mean, she was getting hounded by text messages from him and from Heidi, phone calls from him and Heidi. Like, it was like they were paranoid. They were, just spamming her phone, trying to get her to come and take these dogs. And again, any legit rescue organization would never, ever handle that. And my guess is would never, ever do an adoption at 1 o'clock in the morning. It just doesn't, none of it is right. And to me, everything he's been saying, everything about his life, it's a lie. He's running from something. He made a comment last night that he's a nobody, I'm a ghost. And I said, well, generally people don't become ghosts in, living among people unless you're hiding from something. And I asked him what he was hiding from. And I think that's what actually set him off when he threatened me.
So my question to you is, you know why he went after you the way he did, correct?
Do I know why what? I'm sorry.
Why he went after you the way he did, and the way why he booted OG out the box.
You know, generally with these people, when you start getting too close to their truth, they start to, you know, they're cornered like an animal, and they're going to lash out because they realize that the jig is up. I
Yep.
mean, you know, the
That
truth is
that
coming out.
that's exactly why he went after you, because you got a little too close for comfort for him, and he saw that his grift was coming to an end. That's
Yeah,
exactly why this happened.
And you're
I
I
I
bringing awareness to him.
I got involved because I didn't like the threats.
yep,
That's why I got involved, and I started looking into him, and I was like, oh no, this guy's not right. And when he threatened you, I put a video up right away.
yep. And
So
I have been, unfortunately, got in awareness, and I know this happened to you. Um, this happens quite a bit to awareness people. You get threatened a lot in a lot of different ways. Um, that's unfortunately one of the things that happens when you're trying to shut people like him down on, on a social media app. Um, am I concerned? Am I concerned about the threat? I'm a little concerned. I'm not terribly concerned. I don't think he's coming to my house anytime soon. I don't think he has the funding to come to my house. I don't think he has the wherewithal. I know he doesn't know where I live. But
Yeah, he does.
yeah,
You live at my house.
oh yeah. But again, what I don't like is that he does this he does this over and over. Dexter police were aware that his MO is to start somewhere, in a state, do this same thing, and when the heat is on, they move out of state.
what also bothered me was he puts legitimate charities for stray dogs into jeopardy. He makes people not want to give the legitimate people anything,
Yep.
because he's running like he's a legitimate charity when we all know he's not. Um, if OG doesn't put her proof in her bio, like she's got it, everybody's going to start looking into her until they realize, oh yeah, she's legitimate. He doesn't even want to do it. That's the whole point right there.
I'm going to say this because I'm trying to be understanding to the Dexter police and the animal control warden down there. I read an article about the state of Missouri and what they have been going through in terms of puppy mills, over the decades, really. And Missouri is the worst state out of the United States in terms of the number of puppy mills that they have. The number has decreased extraordinarily in the last 10 years. Absolutely. They've gone from about 2,000 down to about 900. So they definitely are cracking down on it. What the concern is this, and I'll try to make this as concise as possible. Many farmers down in Missouri have struggled with farming, whether it's crops, whether it's livestock, whatever. So what some of these farmers have started doing is becoming dog breeders. And because of what they do on their property, it is covered under the Agricultural Commission because it's considered farming land. They still have farms, but they are also breeding dogs. Now, many of these places are legitimate. They have their kennel license. They are, legitimate organizations that are doing this under the control of, what the rules are within the state with doing this. I mean, there's not a problem with breeding, you know, high-end dogs as long as it's done correctly. But the problem is the agricultural department does not want to come down on these people, because if they start shutting them down, what's going to happen is these farms will shut down, which means less money coming in from the government in support of the agricultural department and the number of farms that are in the state. So you have that aspect of it. And you have, in my opinion, you have a police department that doesn't think that this is a high crime. They don't want to take the time to look into these people and to stick to their own rules of what a kennel consists of in their state. You know, you're supposed to have 7 dogs. Somebody has 20, and they look like they're rescuing them. We're not going to do anything. At least the dogs are off the street. But the concern here is that he is breeding them, and or he's taking them off the streets, stealing them. There was a dog yesterday that was running in a field near his house, and he tracked the dog down, put his belt around the neck of the dog, and brought him to the house. And a woman came to the house and said, listen, I just saw you do that. That dog is not a stray. That dog lives up the road at so-and-so's house. You know, they let the dog run around all the time. He's a neighborhood dog. He goes back to the house all the time. And his comment was, well, then they're going to have to come back and prove to me that it's their dog. And she was like, you know, you just can't take dogs. You know, a lot of the dogs that you're taking are probably neighborhood dogs that you think are strays, but they're not. So when she said, I'm going to come back with my friend to pick up the dog, he was still on live. And that's when he said he's going to go suit up. He's going to put on his body armor, and he's going to, you know, have his, and he told this woman too, no, don't bring any pew-pews. And she's kind of like, why would I bring those? You know what I mean? She was like, honestly, just wanted to get this dog because it was a neighborhood dog. So when she left, he was acting like it was like the end of the universe. He was putting on, you know, body armor and you know, he was getting his, you know, his pew-pews, and he was ready for World War III. And everybody was like, what are you doing? She just wants to get the dog. You know, it was just absolutely crazy.
So in other words, he stole somebody's pet.
Yes, and we think that that's going on. You know, another thing, another one of the major lies that I think is important that, you know, if you're new here, that you hear, is that the two.
Hold on a second. Scammy Joy wants to say something. Oh,
Sure.
she like, you saying something, Joy?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I actually have a fundraising live for my rescue, but I do want to just say this to everyone that's watching quickly. When I checked out his account, I commented because the one thing that I noticed, if you're legit, you have EIN number and you have all this stuff. Folks, at no point in time should anybody be donating to some random PayPal account that doesn't have his rescue or at least his own name tied to it. That should be the biggest red flag. And I commented about that. All of our stuff has to be monitored. We have to do our taxes on a rescue. Your donations do not help when somebody says they're a legit rescue and you're donating to someone else's PayPal. You don't get to claim that on your taxes. The only time it's tax exempt is if they actually have a EIN number, and you can easily track that. And any legit person that has that will always supply it. They will also supply you with a receipt as well, because we have nothing to hide. So for me, and all of the stuff that he's doing, that is what I don't understand, where people are not clicking on that. Because immediately I was like, hold up, wait a minute. The PayPal he has posted is has nothing to do with his name, a rescue name, and it's to someone else's PayPal. So just please be very leery of that. And please know that we're not all like that. And I'm so thankful that everybody's taking a stand, because us rescues that are just small and trying to get by and feed animals, vet them, find them homes, like we do. We go into debt doing this stuff because it's hard for us to get donations. So I just want to thank every one of y'all for doing what you're doing, because I hate seeing it. And what hurts me the worst is when he moves, where do all these animals go? That's the sad part, because we know he's not loading up 100 dogs and taking them with him.
Can you do me a favor and tell everybody the name of your organization so if they want to donate to you, they can?
Absolutely. So I'm Joy Bassone with Healing Heart Rehab. All of our stuff is on our TikTok or website. We're Healing Heart Rehab, no matter how you look at it. You can find us. And thank you for allowing me to be a part of this live. I actually learned a whole lot more that oh Lord, I really hope people wake up, and I hope that it gets shut down, and I hope that people quit donating to his cause, which I don't think is for the actual animals, which is sad. And I hate when people use animals to benefit their need. It's awful. Animals already have a hard time. We're in a massive crisis, and they need our voices and they need our help, not somebody using and abusing that right. It's just not fair. So thank you all. Michelle, I love you. I've got to go hop on a Facebook Live. Somebody's doing a fundraiser for us. So I got to go for now, but thank you all so much.
Thank you for
Thank you,
coming
Love
up.
you,
Joy.
sis.
Good luck on your fundraising.
Thank you.
So
Thank you, Joy.
to tie into what you said, I don't know if a lot of you remember Slots 7.0.
Mm-hmm.
So Slots 7.0 was on this app, and she was taking money into her PayPal, Venmo, all the top four ways. Let's put it like that.
Yep.
And comes out that she raised up to almost $1 million on this app for DV victims, and she hit the news as a big scammer. So, with that being said, don't ever donate to somebody on this app, especially if they don't. Donate to charities on the app. Yes, there's plenty of charities on here. Donate to those. The ones that you can vet them. The people that say, "Oh, you send me money, I'm doing it for this, I'm doing it for that." No, you never send money to anybody's personal Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, Chime, what have you. So that's a way you can eliminate getting scammed out of your money. There are plenty of charities on this app, and a lot of them, like OG, will have their information in the bio. Those are the ones you want to go to. Look at their bio, see the information. You can either grab their information and look it up, or if they have a link, go to that link.
Absolutely. The last thing I wanted to say was that if people haven't seen it yet, go to either of his pages, the Puppy Breath 36 or Saving All the Dogs I Can, or what I think that's what it is, or Saving Every Dog I Can. He has a video on there where he supposedly interviews his landlord, trying to justify what he does, making it sound like everything he's doing is on the up and up. And it was the most uncomfortable conversation I've ever seen between two people, because he was guiding her for everything she should say. And there were a lot of times that she was answering the questions honestly, and it showed that he was lying about stuff. And one of the biggest things that he lied about is that he said that the two huskies that he rescued were on the way to be euthanized. And he said that he was able to track down those dogs before they were brought to wherever that was going to happen. And he was able to get those dogs from them. and they were going to a high euthanization clinic. So he uses these stories to get your money. He uses them for sympathy. All of the stories that he tells you about that, the drama he's going through are all lies. I've verified every single one of them as a lie through the police department. And really, unfortunately, he has a handful of people in there that believe everything he says. Many of us have reached out to them. We've sent them links to videos that we've created that have been calling him out and showing proof that he's lying. There's always going to be that handful of people that believe him. And what we need to do as awareness is wherever he ends up again, whatever city it is, I have people already that live in Illinois that are keeping their eyes on Facebook Marketplace. They're keeping their eyes on any animal Facebook pages for the cities in Illinois to see if he appears, because that is his MO. He will join animal groups in the cities and he will continue his grift with those people too. And we need to stop people from going into his lives from these new cities and getting to them before they fall for his fake stories. So, OG, I can tell you the money that I have been collecting in gifts for the month of January, I will be donating the money between your organization and Joy's organization. So I will be sending you, the gift money that I've received for the past 3 weeks, and I'll wait. I'll wait through the end of January for that, so we can get that money up.
Can you mute yourself?
So
That's
that's really all.
Thank you, Scammy.
Oh
That's
no.
very nice. I do have two quick questions, Scammy. When the police went and approached him, did they ever get his ID?
You know what? To be honest, I never asked because I don't think they would give it to me anyways, even if they had it, because I don't think that legally they can do that.
They
No, but
can't
you're
because it'll be a open report. They can't do that.
I called them, Scammy, as you know, like 6 weeks ago, and I don't believe no information like that was ever given out.
Yeah, and that's why, one of the reasons among a lot that I went to my police department today was, I want them to contact Dexter Police. I want them to know that I indeed have filed a case against somebody that had been living within their, town borders. And I want them to give up any information they know on the guy, including his real name, because, there's some other things legally that I want to do. But in order to file paperwork, I need to know who he is.
You can FOIA request that information. You have to
Right,
do a Freedom of Information Act in order to
right,
get that information. You could do that.
I
right.
think they'll cross I think they'll cross out his information, but the way that you're going to get his information, Scammy, is when your police department contacts Dexter's.
Exactly, and that's why I did it also, because I will let it's more likely that a police department talking to another police department, when there's actually a report filed, they will give that information out. Absolutely.
If I can,
So is Matilda the gentleman that lives in the street behind him?
Supposedly, he does not though. But
Yeah.
listen, God, do you have any other questions for me? Because either that, I'm gonna drop down, hon.
No, ma'am. I don't have any other questions for you. Just keep an eye on him.
Yep,
Everybody else keep an eye on him, especially you,
yep,
because he obviously has it out for you.
yep,
Be careful.
yep. I will. I'm not, like I said, I'm not terribly concerned. I am in Connecticut. We have I'll just say that we have a right to carry. I'm licensed. I have been for 30 plus years, and I'm okay in that. Also, I live about 7 minutes away from my local police department. So, I feel pretty comfortable with that. But the other thing, quickly, take a look at, there was another person on here that I think we were able to shut down. Her name was Hugs for Paws. She was another one claiming she was a rescue organization. We put a lot of pressure on her.
Yes.
I have not seen her live lately.
I'll keep
Um,
out.
Hey,
I'll just
Scammy.
pause.
Have you seen his last two videos? He just posted one. Obviously, you haven't because it was like 4 minutes ago. And then the one
okay.
before that, he actually was talking and said his birth name. I think he said it by accident. He
He
said his
did.
name.
Yeah, he used his middle name. I looked that up again on Intellius, and there's nobody with that name.
Okay.
That
Also, today, you might want to get up with your favorite villain
okay?
because yeah, I'm not gonna say, but just if you want to get up with her, but like 4 minutes ago, he posted a video pleading with the Dexter police to give him 90 days in the woods that he would take every single dog off the streets. So I think, honestly, I don't think Dexter's gonna do anything unless they have heat on them, unless they know they have eyes on them. Because remember, in your live, uh, he threatened to flatten the town.
He
He's
did.
threatened me a few times also.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm looking at the two posts right now. One of them says, "I don't have my adult dogs with me right now. Placed all of my dogs except for these ones right here, dropping them off at the sanctuary so I can focus on getting these dogs off the streets, starting with Dexter, Missouri tonight." And then the other one is Dexter, Missouri, out of respect, I'm letting you know up front, I'm going to be working all through your woods and all in your countryside only to rescue the dogs that are homeless and the ones that are needing saving right away. I will be doing this until I have every dog on the street in your county and in your city. Sincerely yours, Daniel McNabb.
But you will see in the next 2 days that that's false, of course, and those same dogs will be in the garage, the same place, and like you said before, that they were adopted. Oh, they had to bring them back. I mean, there's so many excuses and lies that he can't keep up with them.
Right, right. I'm going to send these screenshots off to the officer in Dexter so they know that he's still around there. Maybe if they find him tonight, based on the conversation between my department and theirs, maybe they'll be able to do something about him tonight, which would be the best
Wait,
case scenario.
you'd think they would have to do something, seeing how he made that threat to literally take
On
out
the
every
line.
in the town.
You would think.
You know, I know my police department would.
Yeah.
Scammy.
Yes.
I would like to open up the chat so we can see
Oh,
what
sure. Yeah.
what the people are saying.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I'm okay with
Thank
that.
you for coming up and telling everything that you told everybody, getting that story out there. Greatly appreciate you.
Hey, thank you
Um,
very much.
Thanks,
And,
Jimmy.
I want to send a shout out to all the people that have been helping me. I can't tell you how many people that support my platform have been working tirelessly trying to get information on this person.
Fred
They
and Wilma. Yep.
Fred and Wilma, Matilda, you, and people that aren't even creators that do lives. I mean, these are people, everyday people that are just trying to do the same thing we are. And I could not do that. Scam Slam has been helping, Dora the Explorer has been helping, and so many other people that have been, supporting my platform forever and are also taking this challenge on. And I appreciate it so much. Shout out to everybody that has been helping out. And we'll get this guy. I mean, we will get this guy. I have no doubt.
And
it's
for the
like I
record,
told him.
I do not live around the street from him.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think
listen,
you live
I'm gonna,
around the street from everybody because you're in everybody's life.
Yeah, I am. I don't know if you would call me awareness. I consider myself the ultimate troll. I just try to get them off their game and take that money, slow it down, and you know, and try to get them discontinued.
I
All right.
do want to
Can
mention
somebody
this,
open up the chat, please, so we can see what people are saying?
and OG, correct me if I'm wrong.
And I'll drop down. Thank you.
Thank you for
Um,
coming up. Appreciate you.
I wanted to remind everybody that if you guys do donate to a 501c3, at the end of the year, you can claim that on your taxes. So these people that are claiming to be rescues, when you make big donations, $100 to $300 more, you can't claim that on your taxes. But when you have real rescues, they have a 501c3 for a reason. They will give you a letter, a receipt, whatever you need. You can claim that on your taxes. So please, please do not let this discourage you from
Can you?
donating to these
Oh, I'm
rescues.
sorry. Can you mute yourself? Hello.
Yeah, hello?
Not you.
Oh,
Me?
No, hold on. I'm gonna disconnect them.
Hey, God, if you can
All
give
right.
me mod powers, I can take care of that stuff for you. I can also flip these boxes and
Di-
expand them.
Didn't I give you my powers?
No.
But
Yeah,
yes,
you got everything.
it no matter what time of the day, what time of the month, what time of the year, a true rescue 501c3 will give you a receipt. If you ask for it, they will have no problem. Please, I beg you, do not let this discourage you, because I helped with a rescue for almost 10 years. These private rescues struggle. They struggle. And it's not only financially, physically, because it's tiring. When you lay out mentally, when you lay out in a field for 4 hours just to catch a kitten, or if you look for days for an animal and just find remains, it messes with you, okay? It messes with you. When you have to take an animal to the vet and get them euthanized, it does something to you. So please don't let this discourage you, because these rescues need your help. If you want to spend your money someplace, I beg you, send it to them. If you want to claim it on your taxes, get in contact with them and they will have no problem to send you a receipt to claim it. They need your help badly. They can't do it without funds. They can't keep rescuing. That's why when people do find dogs like legit and they get up with these rescues and you call and they say, I'm sorry, we can't take any more, we're at our capacity, we can't take any more. It's heartbreaking for them to tell you, and most of the time at the end of the day they're gonna find a way to get them in, but they can't do it without you, because it takes money to get them to the vets. That's a $75 vet visit just to get them in there and get looked at quick. Then you got the shots. You got to get them fixed. You've got to get their health certificates so they can travel. I mean, it's a lot of money. And the little bit that they charge when somebody does adopt an animal doesn't cover the amount that they're spending on these animals. They normally end up going in debt big time financially themselves to help, because they're helping the rescue so much. They're pouring everything in. And then where is everybody? Where is everybody? Everybody wants to help with these animals and they say they love these animals. But where is everybody when somebody really needs them? Because they're going through it financially, physically, and mentally. They have to get up every day and take care of these dogs, let them out every time they have to go out, feed them, transport them. And then yet some of them that are bad
And
off
and
don't
and
get.
I'm gonna top on that one. And if you guys, a
I'm
lot
gonna
of
hop
people
down.
can't afford
I
it.
love you, OG.
Oh,
But
I love you, girl.
don't ever let this
Um,
discourage you guys. Just I do. I beg you, if you want to spend $5, OG, she'll make sure it gets to where it needs to go for the animals. She's got a best friend that's got a rescue too. You guys, like, come on, we got to get together and help these guys. Um, if you've got an extra little $2, don't think that $2 won't help, because it will. It really will.
And even if you don't have that, go and volunteer at your local shelter. They need help. They need, you can go walk a dog. Transportation is huge for rescues. So if you could pick up a leg, so what they do is here in Texas, they actually have a Texas transport group, and they'll do like an hour leg, where you'll get into like a chat. Even if you can transport a dog from the shelter to the vet, um, I mean, there's so much to do. There's so much to do. Yes, research before you donate to a nonprofit. Look them up. You can look them up in the state. You can look them up by name.
God, could I just say something, please?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm a networker. A lot of American dogs. I'm Canadian. I foster and I work with the rescue. This story came on my FYP today because he said that he lost a dog. So I made a comment. I'm so sorry for your loss, which, as an animal lover, I don't wish that on anybody. And then I got attacked. Do your research. Get off your butt and do this. And this is important information to me. And all I was asking was, where do I go, like, to look this up? Because it's important to me, because I don't agree with this, what this guy is doing. But I think when people are trying to get the point across about this guy, don't attack them. Like, give them the
I
information.
agree. I agree. Give them the information. Let
Give them
them.
the information where to go. And me and my friend were in there, and we were both attacked. And
So
we didn't know.
one way I can it'll kind of help. It's probably hard to find the information, but you can go up in the search bar on TikTok, type the name of the creator, whatever creator it is, type the
Right?
name in there, and if there's videos on them doing wrong, it'll pop up. Especially if an awareness creator has tagged that person in it.
Now, don't get me wrong, like, I appreciate all this information and I will pass it around. But for me not knowing what the situation was, and he just happened to pop up on the FYP, and I didn't know, and all I said was, well, where can I find this information? That's all I
Well,
asked.
a good telltale sign is sit in the chat and don't type. Just read the room. Read what people are writing. Read what people are saying. Don't only go by what the host is saying. Read what the chat is saying. The chat will usually tell everybody what's going on. And if you see them,
Unfortunately, it
if
was a
you see
brand
it,
new post, and I was the first commenter.
ah, okay.
Okay, so that's what happened. And then then my activity bar was blowing up, like, all these, like, you're so gullible and you're this and you're that. And I thought, really? For asking what's going on? Like, tell me. Like, I want to know. Because if anybody wants to go to my page, it's all networking dogs. I have 3 posts of my own. The rest is to save dogs off the youth list and rescues and whatever. And that's all I do all day long. And I imagine that's why it popped up. It had to do with a dog, and that's why it came up on my FYP.
Well, I'm sorry that happened to you, but just for the reference, try not to be the first commenter. Try to read the comments on the post first. And
Yeah,
if you happen in the live, sit in the chat, read the chat. If you see a lot of comments getting removed, try to read the comment before it gets removed and see what's getting removed, and that'll tell you everything right there.
yeah. I will know that for next time, but usually I didn't even realize. I basically said, I'm sorry for what you're going through about your dog. That's all I said. And that just sparked it. And I thought, okay. And then Matilda, had sent me a post that said, you know, what was going on, that this one place wasn't affiliated with him. I went and read it. That's all I was asking for. You know, that's all I wanted. Like, show me what's going on here because I don't know.
Oh,
Now I know.
it's unfortunate. A lot of people expect other people to know off the rip what's going on, but
Yeah.
that's not the case. So like I said, just
So Harley from in there, she was nice enough to direct us to this live.
or like
If you
Tracy
want to
said
see
in the
what's going on, come and watch this live and you'll know.
Tracy said in the comments, go to their previous posts, their previous videos. Look at the comments in those, and that'll tell you a lot.
Okay. I will do that, but I appreciate what you're trying to do. Like, this guy doesn't sound like he's a definitely not legit, and I will pass it around.
Yeah,
And
if you see any awareness creators with posts about him, share them, duet them, like help get the word out there. Because me myself, I'm just one person, and my following is not that big. It's decent, but the more people that repost and share and duet our videos and get them out there, the more people get to see it. It brings in traffic, and that's what we want. We want the traffic so that people can see what we're talking about. And
yeah,
at the end of the day, you be the judge of it. Don't go by my word. My word is just my opinion. I want everybody that watches any awareness creators videos to take their own judgment and go with that. If it's iffy, then you know something's going on.
well, that's what, like, I'm a give me proof person. You know, like, I don't go by rumors or whatever. And I wasn't supporting him in any way. I wanted the facts. Like, give me the facts so I can make up my own mind.
I gotta jump off. Thank you for having this live.
Thank you for
Thank you for
coming, and I appreciate you. Let everybody know your charity before you leave, so this way, if they want to donate, they can donate to you because you are legitimate and vetted.
my charity is Cribs for Canines. You can find us on the web. You can find us anywhere. I want to say as I'm leaving, um, you know, my motto is dogs because people suck, and it is the truth. Um, and you know, if he would come clean and if he would be honest, I wouldn't mind, um, maybe donating to a vet that he goes to for the dogs. It's for the dogs, but I need him to be honest. I need him to be honest, um, about it, because what the sad thing is, we don't know what's going on with the dogs. We don't know if they have been euthanized. We don't know if they passed away. We don't know anything.
You know, he
Yeah.
claims that he gets veterinarian services donated by the veterinarians, which I think is an outrageous claim. I don't think that's the case because I bet you don't. And I bet Joy, that was
Well,
just in here, doesn't either. But that's one of the
nope.
things he's been saying is that, you know, they donate spay and neutering to him all the time. He also claims he gives a year's worth of dog food with every adoption. Like that would cost more than the cost of the adoption. Like there's so many things he's saying that don't add up. And I also wanted to insert here that the other day I heard there was just disruption going on in the house because a lot of times it's a lot of madness, and I listen with earbuds a lot. And everyone's right. That's probably not his name because I heard a woman call a name and I couldn't quite make it out, but it definitely wasn't Daniel. So
Was it James? Was it
I'm
James?
not positive. I just know that it wasn't Daniel. And today when the disruption was occurring in the parking lot, I also heard that a woman calling for him and they weren't saying Daniel. I don't know what they were saying because it was muffled and there was dogs barking and all that, but it just didn't sound like that.
If he's, I see someone in the chat, he's buried thousands of dogs. That is a red flag. If that isn't the biggest red flag right there, But thank you for having me, you guys. Thank you for bringing awareness on him. And thank you guys for everything you do. Thank you
I
for
can
having
say
me.
this much. If he does not quit doing what he's doing on this app, this will not be the last live about him that I will hold.
Well, more scarier thing is the threats that he's making. Scammy
He
said,
can threaten me with a good time all he wants. He's not blocked, but if he wants to come in this live and speak his piece, he's more than welcome as long as he's respectful.
but thank you guys, everybody that sent gifts. Thank you very much. I appreciate each and every one of you.
I gave you a
It will
follow,
go.
OG.
Yes,
Okay.
everybody that's not following OG, please follow her. Watch her videos. If you feel inclined to donate to animals, I would highly suggest her because she is vetted.
And my
And
sis that
yes,
was in here, Joy,
and Joy as well.
with Healing Heart Rehab. And we're both based in Texas. And we have a huge crisis here in Texas that is unbelievable right now.
So,
So,
baby,
hi,
you wanna
Slam.
say something?
Yes, I do. I got a hold of Debbie's son tonight, and he was very upset. He said that the house is his house. He was concerned for his mom. He got them out of there. They're no longer there. He told his mom they have to go, so they're not there anymore. They are not there.
For those of you who are listening, she's not talking about Debbie the pet lady. She's talking about the lady that um
Is in the
Puppy Breath
chat.
was
He's
staying with.
living there. Right. Okay. They're not there. He does not want them there. Mom is not in on it. I thought she was. I'm going to say it right now. She's a lonely lady. She lost her husband. She then had a boyfriend. She lost her boyfriend. She has welcomed many a people in her house to live there. She's had family live there, friends live there. She is apparently very trusting, very kind-hearted, I guess, and she also knew Heidi from a very long time ago. There's a connection with her and Heidi. They work together somewhere, and I believe, don't quote me, but I think he said Jacksonville, Florida. That's how they met. Okay. Um, let's see. I'm trying to think of what else he told me.
Yeah, that's a good question. Does he have his real name?
What, the son?
Not the son.
Oh, the son
Mr.
does not know his
Mr.
real name.
Okay.
No, he
Yeah,
doesn't know his real
somebody
name.
asked.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not looking at the chat. But he said that just recently. Well, I know I saw a new dog that he got. He said he now has a King Cargo or Cargo. I don't know what kind of dog it is. I don't know, or maybe I'm saying the dog's name wrong. Um, where that came from, he doesn't know. Um,
A King Corso, I think is
oh,
what you
that's
mean.
maybe what it is. I'm sorry. That's
Yeah.
probably what. Okay. Um, let's see. He didn't want his children around there, he said. So he kind of had a falling out with his mom about this, getting them to leave. Um, he said that, he already got paid. You're there and you receive mail. He was concerned that, they wouldn't be able to get him out of the house right away.
Yes,
Um,
after 30 days and you get mail at a residence. So if I have somebody come stay with me and after 30 days, I will have to go through legal eviction proceedings through the court.
Mom lives there. Um, he said that it's his house, but he would still have rights because he received mail there because she invited him in the house. All that stuff about the car and all this stuff that they said were done to the house.
She said she
Rocks being
full.
thrown. What's that?
I got enough.
Okay.
Hold
Yeah,
on, baby.
that's why
Is
I
there
put it
something you
in
want to
there so
say?
they could go.
And he just wants everyone to know. He asked me to tell everybody, please do not think his mom is in on this. Um, he's upset, because I guess he's seen a person who trusts too many people. So,
At no point did I believe that she was in on it.
right, I kind of did, to be honest. I told him that,
Oh, I got that
because
impression that she didn't know what was going on when he was doing that quote interview unquote with her.
oh yeah, that he was very upset.
And he like, oh, he didn't like that at all, that she negated what he had just said.
Right.
And at that point I was a little like, oh God, like I'm a little concerned because you could tell like he just snapped and went into another question right away. And I was like, oh, he did not like that at all.
No. And
Um,
see, the reason why I've been following him for about 8 months, I guess. I guess it's about 8 months. I guess everybody sees my name in his chat. Because I was trying to play him a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So I could find out what is going on with this dude. I watched him with the whole thing, with Oregon, everything, and all his stories. And the thing that made me think, and I just want to say this, why I thought she was involved, but now I don't. But it was because he left Oregon. He went to Texas, okay? In the meantime, he said, and when he got to Texas, he came live, or wherever he really was, I don't know. Okay, and he started saying that he came into millions of dollars and that he was going to bless somebody to get back to Texas, and he wanted to
but
bless someone.
but you won $1 million and you're asking for money and you're gonna bless somebody that gives you
Well, he said
money.
he got money from property or something like this, and it was millions. This is before he got back to where he was. He was heading from Oregon, apparently well, I know he was in Oregon, going to Texas, he said. That's where he claims he was going, but I don't really know that for sure. Um, so he came on and he started using this thing, I'm going to bless the people that gave me money to get back to Texas. And so who he blessed in that live apparently was Debbie 5000, he said. Okay, so that's where, and then when I saw he was going to Debbie's house, then I said, wait a minute. And then I asked him, what happened to your millions? Like, why are you asking for money? I thought you came into millions, you said.
Can I
And
ask you a question?
yeah,
Did he give Debbie anything towards her bills that he was staying there?
I
Like
asked the son that.
contributing?
You know what? I asked the son, I said, listen, does your mom have a hard time, maybe financially, that maybe she needed? He said no. He,
So he was living there with all those animals, taking advantage of this lady's kindness and
yes.
not paying, not contributing towards the household.
He didn't say that he wasn't, but he made it sound like mom didn't need it.
Mm.
Okay. That's because I guess it's his home. He owns it. Um, and he said he didn't care if the house burned down. He didn't care what happened as long as his mother's okay. He doesn't care. I don't think, I don't, she probably doesn't pay anything to live there, maybe. I don't know. But the son, he started, got creepy vibes from him and stuff. And he said, yeah, all the dogs first they were all in the house, and the house was so full of hair. He didn't even like going over there because there was so much hair, and he don't have a dog, by the way. So he didn't like all this hair, and he didn't like his kids around this guy. He felt he just felt something wasn't right. If there's any kind of McDonald's with this Love's gas station attached to it in Dexter, he said no. So he's not in Dexter. I don't believe he's in Dexter. Um, so where he's off to now, who knows? But I said to him, I hope he never comes back to your mom's house now. And I said, thank God your mother's okay. We don't even know if he's wanted somewhere. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? We don't know much about him. We know that he's going under false names. So we don't know who's he running from, you know? Um, so, and he thinks that he took these dogs when his mom wasn't looking, like, he'd say, he found this dog or whatever, rescued. He doesn't believe his mom, not a rescue, what do you call, a puppy mill, to get dogs instead of all these other dogs. I even said to him, all the dogs look healthy. You
So,
know,
so that address that he put up in that post, that's that lady Debbie. That's her address.
I don't want to say her whole
Yeah,
name.
don't say it. Please don't say it. I
Yeah,
don't like
yeah,
to
I don't want to
dox her.
say it, but yeah,
So,
that's
for those of you that are watching, and seen that video, do not message that lady. She has nothing to do with it. She is an innocent victim in it, just like everybody else on this app that's giving him money. She was totally in the dark.
right. So, he's upset, but he's just glad he's out of there, you know. Um so and he said his RV is a rinky dink. I mean, it's disgusting. And I seen it too when he used to open it up and go in it with the dogs and when he was in Oregon. Um so I don't know, but that's the story. But I hope he gets caught soon. He's nuts. People saw me in his live and they think I'm part of them. You know what I mean? But I wasn't. I was just trying to get information. And
Um,
Daisy gave me quite a bit. So
question.
yeah.
How long ago did her son have him leave?
It was just oh God, it was either I think it was today or yesterday. I'm not
Okay,
sure.
so this is fresh. This is fresh news. He was
Yeah,
just
this is
recently
yeah.
asked to vacate the premises.
Right. Yes, because he was getting worried. He was getting worried for his mother. He didn't want his kids coming over there anymore, going over
So,
there.
so, does Miss Debbie's son have TikTok? Is that how he like started?
Yes, he
Okay,
does.
so
He does.
that's how we started putting two and two together, seeing everything that
Well,
was
I
going
think
on.
I'm trying to think of how he found it. I can't remember how he said he found it. It's all over the internet though. He said on Facebook. I think it's on it. Something's in his town. He's seen something.
Okay, so
And
it's probably on a Facebook pet page.
right. And so he said he was just very upset right now because he said everybody knows him in the town and he's pretty well known and he's just upset about this because now
Said it's on Speak Your Mind Dexter. So I guess that's like a Dexter community page where people can go and see like news for the community by the
oh
people.
okay, okay. Yeah, so he was upset. He just wants his mom's name cleared of any of this.
Yeah, at no point did I ever think that the homeowner was in on it.
No, I don't know you. You know what I mean? But I thought so. I'm being honest with you. In the beginning, I did because when I saw he was gifting that money and Debbie was the one that got it, and then he went to Debbie's house. I'm thinking, this is weird. I kind of thought it was a little odd. You gifted her $5,000. You say, which I know you don't have it because I know it was a lie.
I think he just got her to say that was the one who got gifted the money. I think that was a convenient,
Yeah, cash out to use.
Right.
yeah, like he could just say, "Oh, this is who won the money," and then she would say, "Yeah, I did," and then that would, make it legit that he actually, gave somebody some kind of, blessing, as he was saying.
Yes, yes.
So
So,
so guys, here for the BS, brung an event that he mentioned to my attention, about the traffic jam. Do you want to explain that BS?
Oh, yeah, he said that there was these guys who went out into some field where all these dogs were at, and that they just started, and I quote, popping off dogs, unquote, in this field, and that all the puppies came running out into the road, and it caused this traffic jam. And I'm like, in what place is there a field where, if something went and got into the road, that it would cause this horrible traffic jam? Not only that, if somebody went and killed, unalived, oh my God, unalived all these dogs in a field, that would be newsworthy. Uh, and I can't, like, that is such an outrageous story. And then he said that there's dogs running through this town. He's like, not in just packs of 10 or 12, but like 50, 60 dogs in a pack. And I'm like, come on, that's not how dogs work. You know, there's such a thing as packs, but not at that rate.
Jim!
Snowflake.
Okay, I'm gonna jump down. Don't know how to jump down, but if someone can let me
I
out.
I got you. I
All right,
got
and thank
you.
you
Hi.
so much once again for having me up here again. I was on Scammies, and I just want to thank everybody again, and everybody who's been working on it because I want to get this guy taken down so bad. I mean, it's been actually keeping me up day and night trying to find out any information I can on this dude, and I just want him taken down, and I want those people to get their dogs back.
Thank you for coming up and shedding light on people thought the same thing.
Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, there's a few that just they don't get it. I mean I tried to speak to Debbie, not Debbie, Daisy Dogs. I actually got her phone number, called her, spoke to her for about an hour. Just want to tell you that spoke to her for an hour, tried to explain to her he's not legit, and she kind of agreed, but then as soon as I got off the phone with her, she ran back and told him what I said, and then she blocked me. And so I tried because I didn't want to see her get scammed. I think she's a lonely person too. And but what are you going to do? Uh, you could try, but doesn't mean people are going to listen to you, right? So if they get scammed, I kind of don't feel bad for that, you know?
Yeah, Gino, I hope he's not on his way to Daisy Dog's house.
Good God, I hope not.
So anyway,
All
thank
right.
you.
Thanks so much again.
All right, I'm
Have
gonna
a good
drop
night.
you, okay? Thank
All
you.
right. Bye bye.
Yes, sir.
You want to give people insight on what you saw?
What while watching him, I started watching him probably towards the beginning of January. One of the people that's usually in my Debbie lives brought it to my attention, and I started watching it then. He's changed his name several times. His TikTok name has changed. I think I've watched three different names cycle through. Um, Immediately, I started questioning a rescue when all these dogs are milling around inside of just a garage in somebody else's home. I know not to, I've never had a kennel license or anything, but I just know logically that there's no way that a town would give a kennel license to somebody who just has these dogs milling around in a garage that isn't even a property, and that somebody that's not even related to him or anything else. So that was very a big red flag for me. Another red flag for me was the fact that how he was feeding these dogs. I was just like, who pours dog food onto the floor and lets all these dogs eat it? Like that's a great way to get parvo, especially for puppies. And at first, mind you, when I first started watching him, the main thing we saw out in that garage was a two parent dogs and then a whole slew of husky puppies. Like all these grown dogs were not there. They were not out there milling around. It was just mostly puppies, and the prices of these puppies changed several times too. When I first started watching, supposedly it was $350 to adopt one of these puppies. Then suddenly I heard 250, and the other night when he was talking about it, he said 150. So that's very confusing and odd in itself. Then I started to notice that like none of the dogs he had were, mixed breed dogs. They were all, it looked to me to all be full bred dogs. I mean, at that point, I know God, we both said this. It looks like a breeding thing gone bad, like gone
Yes.
sideways that he can't afford anymore or something.
Another another thing that got me though was none of the dogs look emaciated. They were all healthy.
Right. The only
Stray dogs don't come. You don't get stray dogs off the street like that. I'm sorry.
no, and their fur, all their fur is good. The only dog that does have a little bit of a problem is the one that he was talking about. They had a skin issue going on, And I suspect that's because of the food that is being fed. Then he started to tell some story about how it had this bacteria. Then I mean, it started to sound like mange. Then it kind of sounded like something else. Then he tried to make it sound like it was some kind of like organ related thing. It's like he didn't really even know what he was talking about. And then his chat was sitting there saying like, "Oh, if it's a parasite or this or that, these other dogs can get it. Why do you have them all together?" And it's just the illogical keeping of these dogs. And then I saw one day where at first all the lives I saw were outside in that garage, and he had heaters out there and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, yeah, I saw that too, where he said they all had heartworms, and I'm like, well, you can treat for that. And if these are grown dogs, why do they have heartworms? They should have been getting treatments. Then I heard him talk about he had this one dog for 4 years, this one for this long, and I'm sitting there going, in all this time, and then he's claiming these are all rescue dogs. Like you haven't found a place to get, put that dog all this time. It just nothing added up. Nothing made sense. Why are all the dogs fully bred? Why is it like at the beginning we just saw these puppies, and then all of a sudden he goes inside and there's all these other dogs in there? And I'm sitting there thinking, I thought you said this nice woman just let you use her garage. Now you got a whole crap load of dogs in the house too. Like I saw him one day live in that camper, and that was not that was not a good thing. Like that camper's questionable at best.
Um,
I don't know.
what got me was he has all these dogs. Supposedly has a kennel license. Supposedly have a 501(c) for uh, charity for animals, but he has no clue on any kind of medical attention these dogs need.
Right. That was a weird thing. There's so many inconsistencies in his stories that just. Did you see the day where he had the Costco card and he was like, they just gave this to me today. I'm working closely with Costco. They're donating to me. I mean, I went to you and I was like, Costco, let's pretend you went into Costco and you're like, hey, I'd like to, I'm doing this charitable work. I'd love it if you donate some stuff. You know what they're going to do? They're going to tell you, you contact our home office. Here's a phone number or an email address for you to email. They're not going to go, oh, yeah, sure, and just hand you stuff out of the store directly. That's all going to have to go through their home office. All of his stories don't make sense. And then if you looked at that Costco card, it said that he got it like almost what did it say, 6 of 2024, and he's like, they just gave this to me today. Well, then why does it say that you'd had the card since 6 of 2024? Here we are in 1 of 2025. That's what the date on it should be. Uh, Another thing he kept saying, and I kept calling this out on him, was he would say stuff like, I make my living rescuing these dogs. How are you making a living off that? Because if it's a nonprofit, you shouldn't be profiting off of that, making a living.
Exactly. That's what I asked OG, and she said that she does not make a living. With that being said, Amanda Jones brought up a good question. How can we find out if he left any of those animals at Debbie's house?
I guess you'd have to find out from Debbie or the son, the person that was talking to the son to find out. I hope he didn't. I mean, today, when he ran out of that McDonald's that he was inside of, using their free Wi Fi, trying to do his live and threatening people, um, blatantly all those dogs were up in that camper. And I wish that's the first time I've ever, like, wished that a live that needed to be, stopped went on so that we could see what was going on with this whole dog, eruption out there in that parking lot. But unfortunately, it cut off before we could see it because he's like, "There's a dog fight going on out here." And then we saw him running, and then the thing cut off before he got there. Then we see a video later on where he's saying how somebody paid people to come take care, to hurt his dogs and this, that, and the other thing. And then he made a very interesting statement to me too, where he goes, "And something bad happened," or "What are you saying?" Because earlier it's like he said that they were just injured, that they were injured, but now
I
suddenly
don't,
you're
I
having to
don't,
bury a dog? That's on you.
I don't know if you remember one of her dogs got unalived.
Absolutely.
So
Mm-hmm.
so
Sure did.
this whole scenario, this whole story that about this guy, it's a repeat. It's just a different person. Now it's him instead of her. Pamper, dogs, 7 dogs.
Yep.
It's definitely a repeat.
It
he
is. It's like
he's just,
deja vu.
he's just spinning it because remember Beth was trying to get a kennel license too, and they told her no, and that's why she moved, and
Right?
that's why this guy's always moving.
You can't just have some dogs in a private residence and be like, I want a kennel license. There's things you have to have that are specific to having a kennel.
Look, guys, there's way too many red flags. Way too many red flags, especially for me.
God,
One or two I'm okay with, but this guy's got like 30, 40 red flags that are flying up full staff, not even half mast. They're full staff. They're up there. If one of his supporters are in here or any of his supporters are in here watching this live and still think that it's okay to give this man money, because I don't call it donated. You're giving your money away to a bad cause, not even a good cause. This man flat out, straight out, threatened people's lives on live, talking about I care about dogs more than humans. Come on, man. There's something up.
does anybody know the amount of dogs he would have had to leave with today?
Well, there was also puppies there that he supposedly rescued. I think altogether, I think Scammy said there was like 18 or 19 dogs.
Yeah, wasn't there two giant ones inside the house that were sick? Big
Yeah.
ones, adult ones, yeah, that were sick, yeah.
Look, 29, 20, so many, nobody even knows like the real number. 27.
That's a large amount of dogs to be inside that camper. That's very dangerous.
Well, and that's why something was going on in that parking lot that he started running out there. And I think it's interesting, like you said, that there was one of those dogs that he had to then bury. I mean, come on. It sounds like there was, those dogs got into a fit and, had a little bit of a fight out there and something went wrong.
It looks
Yeah.
like Saturday, he said he had 30 dogs.
Yeah, he was freaking out when he was running out into that parking lot. He was in panic.
All I can say is, guys, if you guys keep seeing videos about him, bringing awareness, repost them, get it out there. Me personally, I think he's doing more harm than he is doing good because he's taking dogs that he cannot afford to have, and he's expecting people to pay for him and the dogs. And like OG said, if he come clean and admit to what he's doing, then she would help him out. And everybody deserves a chance, especially for the dogs. Not even him. The dogs deserve a chance. It's ridiculous. Well, guys, I'm gonna end this live. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for the follows, the gifts. I give my gifts. I put them back on the app. I give all my gifts to Light. For those of you that don't know who Light is, it's Light's Village. It's a pit bull here in Tampa Bay, Florida. That I personally went to the vet clinic, and she is legit. She's not a nonprofit organization. She's just trying to save her dog's life that has cancer.
The dog's
And
name is Fight for Light.
yeah, that's
That's the page. Fight for Light.
yeah. So all my gifts are gonna go towards Light. I appreciate you guys listening, and I'm sorry that the chat was off for most of the lives, but it's out of respect for Scammy Claus. I did that. Um, Thank you guys. Hopefully, I'll go live a little more often about other topics instead of just dogs and this dude. But I would definitely, you guys know how I am. I'm all over the place. I'll post everybody that I catch scamming, breaking the guidelines, child abusers, all that. You guys know how I roll. So, anybody got closing statements before I leave? I know BS always got hers.
I was going to ask if flying had something to say because they got up here and I don't think they have said anything. But now they're on pause, so I don't know. I just didn't want them to feel left out.
Flying with that, flying with that wings. Hello.
Maybe they don't know that they're up here. I don't know.
They just unmuted, so they gotta know.
Now they're remuted.
Oh, it says thank you, God. It's fine. The comments were off. Sorry. All right, guys. I'm gonna end this live. Thank you for coming back to my live after so many months of being MIA. I really appreciate all the support, all the followers. If it wasn't for you guys, this platform would not be here. So this platform belongs to you. I'm just your voice. I'll just put it out there for you. Every lead that's sent to me, I always keep it confidential. I don't say who sent it to me unless you want me to. And I look into everything that's sent to me. So feel free to send to me. I try my best to get back to everybody. I'm busy in real life and I do the best I can. That's all I can say.
Thank you, God.
I think this is a
So
great first
on that
live.
note, BS, your closing line, please.
Be careful in the streets. Stay out of the back alleys, and we will see you later.
I'll see you in like 2 minutes, Corey.
You will.
All right, I'll see you. Bye.
All
Bye.
right, guys, be
Bye.
safe out there.
Start the live, Corey, okay? I'm ready.
Oh, you're already ready?
I'm already ready.
I
Bye.
got you. I got you.